Hey y'all, it's your friendly neighborhood therapist, and I know I said I wasn't going to do any updates today on the Carmelo Anthony case, but there was an important update that occurred this morning. So at 11 a.m., there was supposed to be a press conference, the very first press conference in which Carmelo Anthony's parents spoke out. Now, that press conference was delayed, and the reason why it was delayed is because Austin Metcalf's father showed up to the press conference unannounced and uninvited. Now, here's what the press conference was put on by the Next Generation Action Network, the social advocacy group that is advocating for and supporting Carmelo Anthony's family. And in the words of the face of that group, Minister Dominic Alexander, and he said to make sure you understand that these are his words and not the words of the Anthony family. Austin Metcalf's father showing up there was a disrespect to his son. He made sure to clearly state that nobody in the Anthony family has disparaged Austin's name, has said anything bad about Austin in the press or on social media. Nobody in the Next Generation Action Network has done that. They have not even put their opinion out publicly of anything. So it is very interesting when things are being said from the Metcalf family, specifically his father, like who raised Carmelo? Because you didn't see anyone ask who raised Austin because you, sir, have a criminal history. But that's neither here nor there. The press conference is what I came to talk about. So, in the press conference, Carmelo's mother spoke, and his father was there supporting her in every way. And it was interesting because they basically only did this to combat all of the misinformation and lies that are being spread about their family as far as the money, the donation money goes, and several other things. They also spoke about the threats that have been being made towards them, the things that have been put out online that are false, the narratives that are being spun about their son. This is what parents are supposed to do. Like, I don't see how anybody can get upset with these parents for wanting to protect their child. That is what we as parents do. Now, I'm a firm proponent. If your child is wrong, your child is wrong, and you can have those discussions. But in this case, none of us knows if he was wrong. And to get upset with the people who feel like this could have been self defense, who want to support that narrative, doesn't make any sense because you believe what you believe. And all of us question how you immediately jump to first degree premeditated murder. He went there with the intent of harming him. How is that possible? How is that possible? You don't know that. So again, none of us knows much of anything other than what has been actually put out there. And all of these different narratives and different dynamics that are coming into play are not because either of those families are doing it. It's because the media is doing it. I have told y'all the news, specifically right wing news, is what has made this what it is. That's it and that's all. There is no denying that. Several of the lies we have heard about Carmelo have come from right wing news. And it does not make any sense to do that. But here we are. So another thing I wanted to make sure I pointed out, and I actually reposted this creator's video because I really love him, King Rose World. He pointed out that important thing to remember here, and it was said at the press conference, is that these are two 17-year-old boys. We are neglecting to remember that these are kids. These are kids, and lives have been forever altered. One is gone, and one is in for the ride of his life. And even if something I do want people to know too, even if Carmelo Anthony does get off on self defense, he has to live with the fact that he took a life for the rest of his life. You do know that, right? Even the coldest of people, they don't necessarily get over taking a life unless they're sociopathic. So I just don't understand all the vitriol towards this 17-year-old boy. I don't understand it at all. A lot of assumptions have to be made in order for you to be this hateful towards this boy. In order for you to say things like he deserves to die, he deserves to spend the rest of his life in prison, you got to be making a lot of assumptions to get there. Now, on the flip, you could easily say, well, y'all who are supporting him are also making a lot of assumptions. Let me explain that there's a difference between support in the way that you are framing it, y'all are trying to frame it, and saying that he deserves equal treatment and justice and a fair trial and a fair impartial jury. There's a difference. Calling for justice is not the same as saying what he did was okay. If what he did was in fact self-defense, then what he did he felt was necessary to save his own life. There is nothing we can say about that. Nothing at all we can say about that. A lot of y'all still to this day believe that George Zimmerman truly was self-defense. And if you can believe that, then I don't know how you can't believe it here. But that's neither here nor there. Go back and watch the press conference from this morning. It is on YouTube and it is about 30 minutes long. If nothing else, as a parent, you should be able to feel for both sides here. Somebody buried their child and somebody is hoping to God that their child doesn't go away for the rest of their life, which he can't. Again, another thing, he cannot get life nor death penalty. He's a minor. It would be against the law. Anyway, I just wanted to hop on and update y'all about the press conference. Again, you might want to go watch it. And yeah, just be mindful. I keep saying that. Be mindful. And understand one other thing too. Everything that I have been saying basically has been about the responses and reactions, not about the actual things in the case that I don't fully know about yet. I'm talking about the responses and reactions versus responses and reactions in other cases, whether the cases be similar or not. Because as loud as y'all are about Carmelo and your disdain and hatred for him, and he's a murderer and he's this and he's that, my issue is the response is not the same in the other case. And that might not even be all y'all fault. The media is at fault here too. The media didn't broadcast the other case like they are doing this one. The narrative here is being put a certain way to cause division, and it's working. It is working. It is. I can easily say it's even working on me. I have to be very conscious and self-aware of what I allow myself to listen to, read, whatever. And y'all need to do the same. But on any note, I hope y'all have a beautiful, wonderful rest of y'all evening. And I will be back to share more information as it comes.